Once upon a time, there was a little boy called Howard who loved watching Doctor Who.
This is brilliant.
But eventually, Howard found that just watching Doctor Who wasn't enough, and he wanted to write it as well.
Doctor Who got his gun out and shot the Dalek.
Young Howard wrote many Doctor Who stories and scripts, but then one day he discovered alcohol and laziness, so he put his writing in the attic and forgot about it. 20 years later, Howard found his old Doctor Who scripts and persuaded his lifelong friend Rufus to read them, record them, and release them in podcast form.
They are the Aranthans. They have an evil stare.
Yes, let's take the lift, Leela.
Don't go up there. Most of those stairs are fine, but there is one. There is one. Yeah. You cannot trust. He's evil.
Rufus and Howard discovered that young Howard had not been afraid to completely change the mythology of Doctor Who.
You really are a brave man, Doctor. Well, it runs in the family. My brother, Buckroy Dunderfar. My brother, Buckroy Dunderfar, was very, very brave. He set out on a journey to another universe. The one the Toymaker came from, I think. Doctor, sometimes I don't know what you're talking about.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
I'm talking shit.
They discovered that young Howard had not been afraid to invent his own science.
Can we not let it explode? You said the TARDIS was indestructible.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. What's the Doctor got to say about that?
He says, well, seeing as it would explode if we tried to remove it, I can't take it into a time loop, and I can't land inside my he-portal watch.
What? Do what?
He says, I can't take it into a time loop and I can't land inside my he-portal watch. That's what it says.
What?
It seems you may
You
be
can't
right.
land in a he-portal watch?
It seems you may be right, Jamie, but we shall have to stand far away.
What? Why has it got to take it to a time loop anyway?
Just wait until it explodes,
because
and
the
then
TARDIS is indestructible.
then it's exploded, and then we fly off in the TARDIS.
Yeah, but I can't take it into a time loop, and
I'm not suggesting that you do that, Doctor Who.
I can't, and I cannot land inside my he-portal watch.
No one mentioned a he-portal watch.
I'm sorry.
Doctor Who.
I'm
I
sorry,
don't even
Jamie.
know what one is.
I thought you said, why don't we go and land inside a he-portal watch? Did you not say
In a
that?
time loop.
They discovered that young Howard didn't understand actual science, such as gravity.
Gallifrey's moons are all very strange. There are 4 altogether. One supports just fire. Another supports air. So you can breathe normally on that one. Another can support just earth.
So you can dig on that one.
I mean, it's a moon. It's got to be made of something. No, this one is made of air. And ours supports water.
Right.
Okay, so if you tried digging a hole on your moon, Zoe, the Earth would float away.
Right.
But on our moon, it would fall to the ground.
Wait a second, hold on, what? If you tried...
No idea.
If you tried digging...
I am lost. That is... I mean, a lot of this has been confusing, but that sentence has gone beyond me.
Well, that's because I've got into actual facts now.
No, you haven't.
And I don't understand
You've left
them.
Facts behind.
No, but I'm trying to explain how the moon works at this point.
And they discovered that adult Howard doesn't understand gravity either.
But, you know...
Well, it's a big rock, isn't it?
But there's, like, dust and stuff. The dust doesn't float away.
Why doesn't it, then?
Well, because of gravity keeping it and nothing
So it has
pushing
gravity
it.
on the moon,
But if...
then?
Yeah, everything has... Everything that... You have gravity. Everything that
No,
has
I haven't
physical...
got any gravity.
You do. Everything has gravity. Everything that exists, including us. It's just that we have so little gravity that things don't get attracted to us.
Yeah, okay.
But we do have a little bit because
and
we
the moon's
exist.
got some, but it's not got as much as we have here on Earth.
It's not as good. So when we go there, we have a different weight because there's not as much gravity holding us on, so we can like jump more, but we don't float away in space.
Jump more.
Yeah,
Oh, let's go there then.
Yeah,
brilliant. Because you know that's what I want out of life: more jumping.
More jumping. Absolutely. But what Doctor Who seems to be saying is that some moons have gravity and others don't. But
they've got 4 different moons. They've got Earth, Aya, wind and thing.
That's what I'm wondering about. Wind and thing.
They got Earth, Aya, wind.
Earth, Aya, wind and thing, yeah.
Let's go to the Aya planet.
when it comes to our moon, if it's got like, you know, dust or light rocks on it,
Yeah.
they would only float away if something caused them to. So a person
Like Doctor
picking them
Who
up, yeah,
and throwing
Doctor
them
Who
in the
picking them up and throwing them off,
That's
and
what
they
it
would
means
float
then.
away.
That's what it means, yeah. On your moon, Zoe, when you dig out rocks, I throw them. I throw them into the sky and then do not come back. But when I dig a rock on my moon, I don't do that because I'm like, why would I do that? I'm Doctor Who. I've got better things to be doing than throwing rocks into space.
Young Howard didn't think of what he was writing as fan fiction. He thought that his scripts had a real chance of being made, and even sent them to the BBC.
She walked over to the control console and pressed the red control button. Nothing happened, and so she tried again. This time, something... Nothing overly fantastic. A noise just came from the doors, a kind of fut-fit, fut-fut-fit. Then silence. The Daleks did not want the people inside to escape, so they had fitted a jamming system onto the door's opening mechanism, which was disallowing them to open. They could have just boarded it up with planks, couldn't they? And I know it's a high-tech machine and everything, but it's got fairly simple doors.
Actually, yeah, the Daleks had put a brick there. Jamie, there's a brick in front of the door.
They've built a wall.
Oh, I don't know what a brick is and how to move a brick.
This was optimistic, not just because Howard was a 13-year-old boy with no experience of writing for TV, but also because Doctor Who had been cancelled some years earlier.
You'll be wanted for questioning, Doctor. Doctor Who? The Doctor says, Smith, John Smith. And the policeman wonderfully says, "My, what a lot of Johns." Well, Dr. Smith, come on, we'll go and see the professor now. The Doctor, John, and PC Wilkinson leave the room. We see a room.
Do you think that PC Wilkinson's first name is John?
I hope so.
PC John Wilkinson, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And Aranthran 1 is actually called John Aranthran.
Yeah. They should be called the Johns from the planet John, shouldn't they? We are the Johns.
Yeah. Lady John. What do you think?
Nothing could kill Howard's love of Doctor Who. Not even a Dalek with its deadly egg whisk and plunger. He bought the VHS tapes, read the books and magazines, collected the toys. Howard adored Doctor Who. That is, until one fateful day in the 1990s.
All right, Doctor Who the film came out, and I was a big Doctor Who fan. It hadn't been on air for a long time,
Yeah.
and so
No, Doctor Who had finished, hadn't it, with Sylvester McCoy?
it finished.
And then Hollywood decided, Mr. Hollywood, yeah.
He decided to remake it. Yeah, it wasn't a huge success.
It was on
did go to
TV, but
series.
you didn't wait for it, did you?
I did not wait. I found that they were selling it in Blockbuster Video, which
Yeah.
is a shop that used to exist. It got progressively worse as it went along, and then at the end of it, Paul McGann kissed a woman, so I
Yeah.
cried. And then and I phoned my dad, and I made him drive all the way from Colville to London to pick me up and take me home. Where I
Excellent.
could recuperate. And whilst I was there,
Yeah.
and Doctor Who was on that, and I watched it again. It wasn't as bad the second time round. And now, as we know, it's one of our favourite Doctor Who episodes ever.
we love it now.
It's brilliant.
I think there's a lot in. I mean, I think there's a lot. There's a deep explanation about your life in this story. That you were like a sensitive and emotional teenager and young man, and then the Doctor Who movie broke you.
It did.
And really, you know, it was a breakdown. It was an emotional breakdown, and you needed help. From a strong father figure, and so you chose your father.
I
Good
did.
choice. And then afterwards, it was a process of rebuilding yourself.
That's
But
right.
you rebuilt yourself as an emotionless dimwit, right? who exists
Yes,
for
because-
laughs
I
and
think-
nothing else.
Well, like I said, I think I only remember this because you said this is what I said was that I considered it the end of my childhood. Childhood, all aspects of childhood were gone. In that
Innocence
moment.
evaporated.
Yeah.
And,
And so I
you
became a man, and that's why I became a dimwit.
without emotions.
Without emotions,
Yeah,
because
that
that's
is
the definition of a man.
Yeah. I think the same thing happened to me when I moved to the Canary Islands. Not in the same way, but basically before.
What, you cried and rang my dad up?
Yeah. Basically, I moved to the Canaries. I watched
So remember
Doctor
that. I
Who.
remember that phone call. I was like, "Don't go."
If you'd like to hear the first 2 Doctor Who stories that Howard wrote as a child, you can listen to them on special episodes of the Man by Cow podcast, available now from the British Comedy Guide, starting with the first Doctor Who special, The Candle of Ever.
The Dalek invasion of Balam.
Balham.
And it's
I'm
got-
invading Balham. I'm a Dalek. You're not a Dalek, Tom Baker, Doctor, are you? You're getting confused.
Some people just don't appreciate fine art. And on the subject, there is a fine art show on in Blackpool in 1991.
What?
Which is where we are going. So we shall pop in there. Go to the tower. Go to the pleasure beach. Play on the slot machines, and then stroll along the front,
You made
eating
this up.
candy floss and rock. Zoe, check for oxygen. I'm doing an impression of you here because.
Check for oxygen.
It's fine, Doctor, said Zoe, as she looked up from a large group of dials, which expressed how much oxygen, hydrogen, argon and radioactivity the planet's atmosphere contained.
So there's a machine that tells you
Yeah.
how much argon there is.
Yeah.
That's the most important point
Oxygen,
here.
no, it doesn't tell you. It,
Doctor Who, look at the amount of argon. Jamie, so much argon. I mean, yes, lots of argon. Here, eat this celery. It will protect you from argon.
Yeah, no, it doesn't tell you how much, it expresses it. The object that had materialised on Skaro a few seconds before the police box was another TARDIS, though this one's chameleon circuit was in working order, and the tree matched in perfectly with the thick forestry that covered practically the whole planet, and so the Ogron on duty had not noticed. Yeah, the Ogron on duty guarding that tree.
That's how they check. Like,
Just go around counting trees.
yeah,
that's
same
the-
amount of tree here.
Good.
Oh, maybe one more tree, but not sure.
Yeah.
Not sure which tree, new tree. But surely the computer lets you know when a thing has arrived on the planet, but he looks at it and goes, "Oh, no, it's just a tree."
Yeah, a tree has just arrived.
Don't need worry about that.
There's also a 2-part Doctor Who adventure all about an evil alien television station called Siege.
It looks like nothing more than a battery tester. It looks like a battery tester with a handle and a button which causes the battery to be gripped. You're describing your battery tester.
It looks like
right?
a battery tester with all the things that a battery tester.
Yeah.
It's a battery tester.
But actually, if the button is pressed, something else happens. Yeah, I mean, you think it's going to go on to say what, but it doesn't. Police A joins the Doctor. So, you think you may be able to free them? I hope so. Otherwise, the ray will grow stronger and swallow us all. But Doctor, what exactly are you going to do? I'm going in. What? You'll be trapped like the others. Ah, but I'm not like the others. He grins. He waves his weird battery tester before the police A's eyes.
But Doctor Who, that's a battery tester.
What do you mean? And what's that?
No, it's not, because if I press this button, it will not grip a battery. Something else will happen.
It will not grip a battery because I haven't put a battery in there. Something else happened. Nothing.
Lack of battery grip will occur. And Green Rays hate that shit. They're like, oh, fucking hell.
Where's the battery, dude?
If there's one thing that makes a Green Ray want to leave quick, it's a battery not getting grip. Yeah. It's got it sussed.
Grip a battery. Grip it. Brilliant.
And if you've already heard them and are hungry for more Howard Long Doctor Who, it's only a week until part 1 of a brand new story, TARDISes 5.
The body of Professor Harrison is still intact. So you think he was just murdered? So you think he was just regular murdered? And it was nothing to do with this death? He points at the gone body.
Find out how a Cyberman can be made of gold, which pronouns Doctor Who uses when he meets himself, and what happens when you glue together TARDISes 5.
Worst writer in the world. Worst writer in the world. Worst writer in the world. Worst writer in the world.
I'll pop along in a few minutes and take a look. Right, thanks, Doctor. Bye. Bye-bye, Doc, came a Scottish voice which had just joined Zoe. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Zoe. Bye-bye, Jamie.
He says bye-bye to them both.
Yeah,
Good.
they all spend like 4 lines saying goodbye.
It's like the end of the Waltons. Goodbye, K9. Goodbye, Leela. Goodbye, Romana.
But Doctor, they're not here.
I'm saying goodbye to them in their separate
I
time
am
zone.
being completist. Bye-bye, Zoe. Bye-bye, Jamie. And then the next line is, they all fuzzed off. They all fuzzed off. And after saying bye, they all fuzzed off. Good. The Doctor replaced the receiver in his pocket and walked over to Radar's legs.
Coming next week on The Worst Writer in the World.
Rubbish writer.